Hey guys, thank you very much for tuning in to Jesse Lopez's 15-minute podcast, the only podcast worth listening to. I have my guest here, Wes Corwin.
Hi, how you doing?
Yes, I don't say this often. Wes is actually one of the funniest guys that I've ever known.
Thank you.
Top 10 easily.
That's the best, that's the kindest thing I've ever heard on a podcast while the podcast host is driving a car. This is a very unique experience, and I'm glad this is super positive.
We're in Louisiana going to Kentucky? Where are we?
Incorrect. We're in East Texas around, let's see, Greenville, driving to Memphis, Texas.
Memphis, Kentucky.
Tennessee. Memphis, Kentucky. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So, you have a job with a computer. Wes Corwin is an engineer that builds computers.
Yeah, that's not what happens. I code on computers. I do Java development. I'm working for a company. Probably shouldn't say them by name because I do a lot of jokes about them now. But yeah, they're fine. It's a good company. The checks are clearing. It's fun. It's a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you stealing and selling company secrets?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Hence why I can't mention them by name. I've sold a lot of company secrets to one of their competitors. I won't say their organization name, what I'm selling to, but I can say if you were to take the first letter of every one of their initials, it would be UPS.
Oh. I thought IBM went out of business. Turned into Apple in the 80s.
None of the things you said are true. None of the things you said.
Nothing. We're not going to...
Even fictionally, nothing you said has come to pass in any way.
We're not going to Nebraska like I keep on saying?
No.
I keep on saying that, and I was like, you don't even know where you're going? What are you... I was like, I don't know. I just... comedy,
This is the first time anyone's ever been driven to their own insane asylum.
When I got in, I didn't tell him. I didn't tell. But I have vodka and energy drink in a big tumbler, one of those imitation Yeti coolers.
Yeah.
You don't know what. You brought a hurricane into your house. I'm really sorry about this, but it's going to be a week of binge drinking, shoplifting, womanizing, terrorism.
Good.
Child abuse, if I can find one.
That's the only thing preventing the child abuse is the child.
Finding the child.
I mean, that's a good way to look. I think that's why I personally don't want to have children. Is because I think that's the biggest cause for child abuse is the presence of children.
Yeah.
You can't have child abuse in a home without a child.
That is true.
And that's the platform I run on whenever I run for any political position. No children.
No children.
I'm a very anti-children politician. They can't vote. Why would you try to appeal to them, I'm trying to make you laugh, and you're just like, that's a great point.
that is a great point. Can I subscribe to your newsletter, sir?
Yeah.
I like this idea.
Tell me more about this no children.
Let me show you pictures of my children. Can you eliminate these things?
Yeah.
So how you like Tennessee over Austin?
I like it a lot. I mean, compared to Austin...
Be honest.
No. I don't know if you saw this tweet. This actually perfectly summarizes... I could get into comedy, and I could get into, like, the differences in the city and this or that. I think the best way to sum up, like, living in Austin versus living in Memphis is this tweet. I can't show it to you because it's a podcast. I can show it to you. I can't show it to you, the people that listen to it.
Well, you could word it out with your mouth and stuff.
That's what I could do.
Yeah.
I could word it out with my...
With the noises.
That's the dirtiest way I've ever described a joking. Yeah. That sounds like how you'd solicit a sex worker. You could work it around with your mouth and
word me out with your mouth, please.
Word me out with your mouth.
Word me out with your mouth.
That's going to cost $75 an hour.
What?
And I am very thorough. 75 gonna word you out with it.
Fine, but you have to word me out from behind. That's the way I like to get worded out from behind.
So what? So what do you do? Well, I can word you out from behind, or I can take you out behind the dumpster, and I'll just word you out until we're done.
It keeps getting dirtier and dirtier.
Yeah.
Behind the dumpster, I'm a classy guy. I'm a Motel 6 kind of guy.
Yeah, you're not a prostitute. You're an escort. You're gonna escort me into a state where I'm worded out. Yeah. So the tweet I did was it's a little snapshot. While I was in Memphis, I was hanging out with Maggie, my girlfriend. She had come to hang out with me, and she was like, "Hey, let's get breakfast tacos," because we're used to Austin. So I Google Memphis breakfast tacos, and it pulls up like 20 Google Maps results. All of them are Taco Bell.
Not even
every Taco Bell in the city of Memphis. It's like, clearly this is what you mean, because you can't want tacos for breakfast. You want Taco Bell. And
there's no Mexicans there?
No. There are Mexican food restaurants. They just don't serve tacos for breakfast.
Because they have to have Mexicans. Who's paving the roads and bricklaying over there?
I don't know. You'd think, but nope, no breakfast tacos in Memphis.
It's horrible.
I talked to comedians, and they were all like, they helped me out, and they were like, "There's some great lunch places. There's a bunch of Mexican cuisine here. There's just no breakfast taco opportunities. Zero breakfast tacos. It's what's going on there. It's a devastating community."
That's terrible. I'm sorry. I just passed like a state trooper.
No,
I have no license, and I've been drinking.
I don't.
Yeah. How have you been enjoying this trip? I'm having a lot of fun.
It's a good time. It's it's going well when you decide to record a podcast in the middle of the trip. So I feel great. How many people listen to this podcast?
So far I have not released any of them. I have 7 of them. Some of my favorite people are on them.
This is the best way to do a podcast. Just keep it all on your phone. No one gets to hear it. Exclusive as possible.
Yeah. By the way, you guys have been listening to Jesse Lopez's 15-minute podcast.
Yeah.
The only podcast worth listening to.
Yeah.
To this or go fuck yourself.
I love that this is the only podcast worth listening to, and there's no conceivable way of listening to this podcast.
unless you wrestle me down and steal my phone physically, and then have the knowledge of where to find the podcast.
You know about the Martin Shkreli guy, the Shkreli, the pharmaceutical guy.
Oh yeah.
The guy that bought the Wu-Tang Clan's album. No, well, yeah. So he did AIDS. He bumped up AIDS medicine $13.50 to $750. He also got in the news because the Wu-Tang Clan was like, "We're going to release one copy of our next album. It's going to be sold for $2 million. And then after a year's time, whoever bought it can just... Once somebody buys it, they can give it to whoever they want. They can distribute it. We just want $2 million for the album we put out." And Martin Shkreli was the guy that was like, "I'm going to buy it, and I'm not going to... nobody gets to hear your album. It's for me and me alone." And I feel like that's what, this is the best way to produce a podcast, is let no one listen to it, and then just wait for someone to be like, "I need to hear the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast, the entire collection." And then you give them the phone for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So I have to contact Mike Sherpa?
You have to contact Martin Shkreli. You have to tweet at Martin Shkreli, "Excuse me, I'm the Wu-Tang Clan of podcasts.
I'm the Wu-Tang Clan of podcasts.
I'm waiting for you to buy my entire podcast collection."
I am the white old dirty bastard.
The white old dirty bastard. Yep. That's it.
And what was I gonna say? How long have you been living in a computer box? What?
I've been using computers since I was about 5 years old. I've been programming since freshman year of high school.
Programming?
Yeah, so about 9 years. Almost a decade.
When I was in middle school, I programmed the American flag out of pixels. And that's the only thing I've ever done with computers.
You programmed the American... Do you mean you went into Microsoft Paint and you drew the American flag?
Well, it was supposed to be kind of like like a computer extra sketch, but you were like, oh, B12, and it would put a dot in where B12 is. And you're like C17, it would put like a dot. It's just like black and white, really.
You basically played Battleship, but you made the American flag.
Yeah, but it was kind of like colors. It was like
no, I get the concept. I get what you're doing.
Yeah, and I was like, American flag. The computer teacher's gonna love it because everybody loves America. Back then, everybody loved America. You know?
Yeah.
Now everybody hates it. I don't know why.
If you were a child today and you made a Microsoft Paint pixel art of the American flag, the teacher would spit on your computer.
Yeah.
She would just spit right on your computer.
No, that's weird. Yeah, the teacher would fail you automatically, and nobody likes America. You guys, if any of you love America, you are listening to the wrong podcast. You broke into the wrong guy's house. You stole my phone.
You stole the wrong guy's phone.
Yeah.
This is actually a subject I'm very, I believe very strongly in. I've always been a big fan of the country of Angola.
Is that where the people with Down syndrome come from?
I mean, they come from everywhere, you know, all shapes and sizes, but very similar head size.
Attila the Hutt was the first one, right?
Yeah. No, Angola has competed in every single Olympics since 1980, since the fall of the Berlin Wall. They don't have a lot of funding for their Olympic athletics program, and they've never medaled. They've competed in every Summer and Winter Olympics
in like 40 years.
Yeah, about 40 years. So that's 18 different Olympics. They've never once gotten first, second, or third, and they just keep sending people. And I genuinely believe that we should eventually create the Perfect Attendance Award, Olympic gold medal.
Perfect attendance.
Just so they can get bronze. Just so one year they like, oh, we forgot to send people. And it's like, well, you did all this other stuff. Bronze. I also think there should be an Olympic event called Being Angolan, which they should also bronze in. Probably China. If China can send a 12-year-old girl through gymnastics and she wins gold, they can figure out a way to make one of their citizens Angolan, you know? More Angolan than people from Angola.
Yeah, no, but actually, I think they do that with genetic testings and... Yeah, because China... Yeah, China's they're a horrible country. They genetically map you, and they change whatever they want to change. They want longer legs on a Chinese person. That's how you got Yang Ming, the basketball player.
Yao Ming.
Young Mao.
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
Yes.
He's a horrible experiment gone awry.
I mean, some people are just born 7'5" and 190 pounds.
I do not believe it.
All right.
I do not believe it. If Yao Ming was like somewhere in Africa, you know, or like one of those Swedish people that are really tall, maybe I'd believe it. But no, like a Chinese person, they were like 4 foot even 20 years ago. You couldn't find a Chinese person over 5'1".
Well, that's a stereotype. The reason we believe that is because we had very little experience with Asia. If you remember the movie Forrest Gump had to go and play ping pong with them before they even opened their borders. That was a documentary film.
So you're saying you hate America?
I don't hate America. I just love Angola. That's by far the best. It's a nightmare country. I believe run by a dictator. I just really like their stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah. I believe it's run by a dictator, but every time I try to call someone, they end up getting murdered by a dictator.
I feel like, I could be wrong, I believe Angola... Yeah. Angola was that country Nicki Minaj went to. Did you hear about that?
I've heard of Nicki Minaj. She looks like a tranny sex doll.
Sure.
Like a dark sex doll with a blonde wig.
I think she's very, very attractive.
Oh well, it's her big butt, but it's fake.
Oh yeah, for sure. She went to Angola and was Instagramming the entire time and taking pictures with people and being like, because Angola was like, we'll pay you $4 million to do a concert in Angola.
Damn.
Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, it's run by a dictator and it's a terrible country and the people are suffering.
They should have just, like, when she get there, just enslaved her.
Oh, yeah.
And they could have gotten all the shows. Who's gonna,
I mean, so Nicki Minaj gets on the airplane and she, like, takes a picture with the richest woman in Angola and she's like, boss bitch, hashtag boss bitch or whatever. The thing is, that woman is the daughter of the dictator of Angola and made her money through corruption and being the daughter of the dictator of the... And so, yeah, Nicki Minaj didn't know what was up and was like, yeah, I'll take $4 million, and didn't realize the repercussions of, like, probably should take $4 million from a dictatorship. And she just doesn't care. She just posted about it and was like, love Angola. And people are like, that's not okay. They have so many human rights violations. She's like, don't care. $4 million.
That would be me.
That would be you?
Yeah.
We just talked about how much you love America.
No. How much I loved America.
Past tense you love America.
Past tense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're also in it. I've talked you into loving Angola.
I think so.
For the price of...
I would love, like, instead of a red carpet, it'd just be children's skulls.
like a Conan the Barbarian situation, a throne of children's skulls.
Yeah, the dictator of Angola doesn't even have to pay me. He's like, okay, it's going to be a red carpet, but it's going to be children's skulls.
You know, the best thing about a throne of children's skulls in Angola is that that's the cheapest place to get them. Their main export is children's skulls in Angola. It's a lot of children's skulls.
But they're not good quality because none even have calcium in them.
They're very brittle. You're getting some low quality children's skulls, but in volume you get a lot of children's.
You get what you pay for.
It's the Taiwan of children's skulls export. Is that it's a lot of production, but you need to go to a higher quality children's skull.
Yeah, well, if you want to play soccer with it, of course.
Yeah, you play a lot of children's skull soccer. A lot of.
Ever since I stopped loving America. What has your favorite experiences from Tennessee have been comedy-wise? I'm going to try to keep it like a comedy podcast. By the way, this is the 15-minute podcast run by Jesse Lopez. Only person. The
15-minute podcast. If you're listening to anything else, you're legally listening to a podcast. This is the one podcast it's illegal to listen to because it comes with the added theft
of my phone because nobody's gonna listen to this shit.
Yes, you're listening to the 15-minute Jesse Lopez podcast. My favorite comedy thing in Memphis. I got to sit in on the Memphis Comedy Festival selection process. They needed people to watch videos, and I had submitted to the festival. I had woken up. Maggie had just gone. This was the same weekend as the breakfast taco thing. Maggie had just gotten up. Her mom came with her, and they were like, okay, we're driving back to Austin. I was like, okay, I got nothing to do today. I'm going to sit in front of the computer, watch YouTube videos, and do nothing. And then I got a call from Doug Gillen, who's a great Memphis comedian. He's a good friend of mine. And he was like, hey, do you want to come to a Memphis Comedy Festival watch party? And I was like, I don't actually know if I'm on the festival. And he was like, you don't okay. A comedy watch party is they go through and everybody that submitted videos to the festival, they get to watch the video. They bring people to watch the videos and then they fill out little forms like this person was a 7 out of 10, this person was 8 out of 10. And that's how it's not all decided by one gatekeeper. Yeah. So that's how they get like a wealth of choices. Yeah. And they called me up and they were like, and Doug was like, wait, you submitted to the festival? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, that might be a conflict of interest. Let me pull the room. And then like 30 minutes later, he was like, nah, just come down. So I got to hang out with a bunch of comedians, and we got to watch videos, and we got to... It was a great insight into what people look for at a festival and what immediately turns people off and what, like, people give you the benefit of the doubt on. I submitted I was telling you, I think earlier this week, one thing I've noticed is people in Memphis are, not necessarily, they're not PC, but they're very sensitive toward, like, jokes shouldn't, like, hurt people. Which is, like, jokes shouldn't, like, if you have a target, you should, like, be presenting why they're wrong. You shouldn't be firing on them directly. And as such, they're very... So I was watching my own set that I submitted, and I was like, I have a joke about a special victims unit. I have that joke where a mentally challenged girl gets assaulted. So I was like, well, I'm done. And then I got in the festival because, like, it puts in perspective, like, oh, it's not the subject matter, it's the technique. And I think people that aren't in the know about offensive comedy, I think only pedestrians that, like, walked into a comedy show accidentally are the kinds of people that get mad. Or the comedian has no technical finesse in their subject matter.
Yeah.
You know, so I think those are the two divisions. And it was really affirming to be like, oh, cool, I'm good enough at offensive comedy when I choose to do it. Where, like, fellow comedians that don't necessarily know and like me, but they, like, get to appreciate what I do, they're like, yeah, this is different than offending people for the sake of offending people. Yeah. This is good enough to, like, come to our city. Even though I was already there at the time, I was living in Dallas, in Austin, and I was like, I really hope I get in, because I got to hang out with some of these people when I was taking the class, and then I moved there, and they were like, oh yeah, just stick around to the festival. So that was good. That was affirming. The weirdest thing about that, I'm saying this, I was told that they were excited because they were like, oh, cool, because I was okay, I'll tell you exactly how they worded it. They were excited that a local guy had gotten onto the festival. I'm the only Memphis comedian to get on the festival, which is weird because I became a local about 2 weeks ago. So it's a very weird thing to be proud of.
It's like moving to Angola and winning the gold.
That's exactly what it is.
The first gold medalist Angolian.
We did it. Yao Ming, he wins the medal for tallest. The gold medal. Yao Ming becomes an Angolan citizen and wins the gold medal
for
height.
For height. For slamming basketballs in his tiptoes.
So that's. But no, Tennessee's been really good. Memphis has been really good. It's been a good time.
All right, so this is quite a question. We've been talking a lot about it. What is it that you hate most about Cody Greenlee? Is it his face? Is it that he's a kiss ass?
The thing I hate.
He's a nobody.
The thing
is that he smells.
The thing that I hate most about Cody Greenlee. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, the thing that I hate most about Cody Greenlee is that he gets booked more than I do.
That's sad.
I know.
That's very sad.
I'm teasing. I love Cody.
It's all right, I guess.
He plays a different. He's smarter about being friendly than I am. That's not fair. He can be a very outgoing person. I have so much difficulty being outgoing with anyone. I'm very lucky that I met you during a window where, like, I was being social, and then I could continue being social with you. If I get off the wrong foot with somebody, I just can't hang out with them because I get really awkward. I'm a very awkward person.
I am very social, but I am socially awkward sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It comes and goes like in pulses.
Yeah.
Like I'm friendly, and then I'm like, I hate everyone. And I hate myself, and then I hate everyone else more. Yeah. And it's weird the way I deal with people.
I absolutely feel the same. Like people in Memphis have been super friendly, and I like all of them. There's some people that I just cannot. It has nothing to do with them. They're nice, and I'm cordial, but then they start talking to me more, and I'm like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
I know. It's not I don't want to talk to you. It's just don't want to talk.
I feel it's an easier way to make friends when you find someone funny, or you respect their style of comedy, or their gifts. I guess I don't like to call them gifts. That's how I think I'm more not approachable, more me approaching people. What do you call that? More approach-tuitive.
You're outgoing.
I'm more outgoing with funny people.
Approach-tuitive. That's the word you were going for.
Approach-tuitiveness.
Yeah. Yes, that's the word. That's what you're
and as long as you're not Mexican. I don't like Mexicans.
What about Raul Sanchez?
Oh, dude, he's fucking awesome. I love him. You know, I have that same problem, not because of the booking, because he's so fucking funny.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's amazingly, like, my stomach hurts.
Oh, yeah.
I get gassy, liver, whatever it feels like, weird inside. Like, I can never be as funny as him.
So good.
He's so fucking good. It gives me a fucking brain freeze headache just watching that. I can never. Oh God.
Yep.
Fuck him.
So good.
He's really good. He's really good.
I got nothing.
Oh God. Yeah. And no, he's really friendly. He's down to earth and everything. I mean, like, dude, if I was as funny as him, I'd walk around like in stilts. Like, I could be 10 feet tall and I'd just look down at everyone and start spitting. I'd spit at people. If I was that funny, I could do it. And he doesn't, you know. Keeps his saliva in his mouth. It's weird.
Here's the thing. If you want to be the funniest person in the world, I would just do that and buy the stilts and spit on people. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Just wear big yellow pants.
Man.
With the stilts hidden and in the bell bottoms.
Wes Corwin's pretty funny. He works hard on his jokes. Jesse's the funniest person us. He just wears stilts and spits on people. He is very subversive. He is very he's very alternative in his comedy. Where he just gets on. He's never touched the stage. He just walks around the streets in 10-foot tall stilts, spitting on people.
Ashing his big cigar on people's foreheads. That's
doing an impression of like some kind of smoking velociraptor for 39 years, just going whatever that animal was that whatever the raptor was that spat on
the Dilophosaurus?
Yeah, Wayne Knight.
Dilophosaurus?
Yeah, something like that. The spitting raptor.
The spitting raptor.
Yeah, that one. He's doing that. Just constantly pursuing obese people trying to drive away in cars.
Obese people.
That situation.
Man. Ugh.
Jesse Lopez, 15-minute podcast. How many minutes do we have left?
As long as you can go, buddy. You know, I'm thinking of like just releasing all of them, just regular timing, no edits. But I'm thinking 2 hours, an hour, 3 hours is way too long of hearing people just banter.
No, I feel that way about I had my podcast, Wes Corwin Has Friends. I would try to keep it at 30 minutes. I would like stop at 30 minutes, but if someone was in the middle of the story, I would say, we've hit the time, let's talk about this to its logical conclusion, and then we'll call it.
Do I look like a guy that subscribes to logic?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. yeah.
There is no logic. There is no
in the same sentence, in the same thought strain. It's like, I don't know why anyone would listen to a 3-hour podcast. Oh, maybe you should make it 30 minutes. Did I ask your opinion, Wes? I thought it was implied. No,
your opinion does not matter. This is the Jesse Lopez pod, not the Jesse and acquaintance that's driving me to Memphis.
You're driving to Memphis.
Oh yeah, I'm behind the wheel. I almost forgot. So how many friends do you say you have in Memphis?
Jeez. I mean, Kim the bartender.
Roman the wrestler.
I shouldn't count them out loud.
Yeah,
that's inappropriate.
I like that you mentioned their occupation. There's Gerald the policeman.
I don't know Kim's last name. She works at Drew's place. That's the mic on Monday. She's really cool. She's not going to be the bartender after tomorrow. She's getting replaced by Lila Bear, who's a comedian. I'm friends with 15, 20 Memphis comedians right now.
Prepare for 5 because I'm gonna wreck your goddamn reputation when I get there.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna hug you and then I'm gonna do my rate bit. 8-minute long.
8-minute long. Gonna run the light by 3.
Gonna buy
Do it 8-minute long. Don't you light me, Abe? You're saying to people. Abe. The bartender at the Skylark said I can do 10.
Sky who? What?
Sky? What? Who is this guy?
They told me 10 and I could go to 15 if I was funny. And I'm always funny. For those of you who don't know, they let me do a bunch of time at a local bar, Skylark. I love it. I love the Skylark.
The king. You're the king.
I'm the king there. No, I'm just always very prepared.
Yeah.
And I always give them as much. I give that mic a lot of attention, and I always try to do the polished new stuff. It's always different. For you guys that want to pursue comedy, make sure you're funny or get the fuck out of the way, and make sure you work hard on it. Because if you don't, you're an ass. Go fuck yourself. By the way, this is a 15-minute podcast with Jesse Lopez. My guest here is wonderful Wes Corwin. One of my, yes. I'm thinking in Austin, well, you were fucking like easily top 10 comedian.
Oh, thank you very much.
No, seriously, I don't say this a lot. I think I've said it like to 3 people. And honestly, I can't even find 10 people that I like in Austin, though. So, yeah, no. Maybe you're top 5, maybe you're top 3. Maybe.
Maybe. Don't write me into a corner.
I'm gonna say it's the second funniest comedian.
I'm very
funniest.
I'm very flattered. The second funniest to Raul Sanchez.
Oh, me. I was talking about me.
Oh, good. Good. Well, then I'm definitely not number 2 if you're ranking yourself number 1.
No, yeah, it's horrible. What was I gonna ask you? I had some questions.
If you're number 1 and I'm number 2, how did that roast battle play out the way that it did?
Oh God, you murdered me.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Devastated. I was devastated.
I was talking to Maggie afterwards, and she was like, I don't know if that was fair. You weren't she was looking at your face, and about 15 seconds into my first round, you looked like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this.
I was not prepared.
I didn't know we were going to try to hurt each other. I thought this was for fun and charity. I thought we were raising money.
Oh God!
This is like
no.
This would be like if like a high school principal like went into a charity boxing match with like Evander Holyfield because he's some kid. One of the kids, their parent is Evander Holyfield. He's like, yeah, we'll have a good time. And then Evander Holyfield just murders him with his fist for 10 consecutive minutes. That's what it. And in the moment, I was like, man, I'm doing really good at roast battling. And then Maggie said that, and I was like, oh man, what if Jesse was really like, oh, we'll just have some fun. Tapping on each other, and then I just came out swinging as hard as I could.
You did. It was wonderful. You know, I got like maybe 5 people coming up to me, complimenting me on the roast battle, and then mentioning something horrible you said about me. Right afterwards, it's like, oh, that roast battle that you had is really great. It's really nice that it was really funny when they called you like a flesh snowman, and that thing about your belly, and it's like, holy shit, like. They just repeated your jokes to me.
That can't be good.
No.
I've never thought of, that was my first roast battle. That was your second. And your second one was, I mean, no one's going to hear. Yeah, it was a robbery. It was a hatchet job. It was a screw job.
They actually, the judges really sucked. They were actually booing the judges. I was like, wow, I was proud of that. I don't care if I lost.
Yeah.
I got them to boo the judges.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking great.
Yep.
You know, the second one with you, I got demolished. I didn't stand a chance. But the first one, I mean, I think I won just by a narrow margin. You know?
But no, I never thought about the fact that when anybody compliments your roast battle, they're going to bring up lines from the roast battle that either you wrote or that somebody else wrote about you, which of course is going to rehash that feeling of like, oh, burn.
Oh, burn, yes. It stung so bad. Not so much you making fun of me, but like, hey, you're complimenting me on a roast battle. It's like complimenting like the punching bag in the training gym. It's like, dude, this punching bag is the shit.
Yeah. Did you see it receive that punch?
Yeah. Did you see it get ripped open and all the fluff coming out and we had to tape it back together? That was great of you. Punching bag.
You're the best. You're the best.
You're the best punching bag.
Yeah. No, but
did you see when they brought it down and sodomized that bag, that punching bag. They all got in line as it cried on its belly. Did you see that punching bag? Did you see yourself? We have it recorded. It's going to be on air. It's going to be on a YouTube channel forever for everyone to watch you get sodomized by Wes Corwin. Punching bag.
Sodomy is illegal in the state of Texas. Punching bag. No, yeah, but no, yeah, I think I sent you a text like later that night and was like, hey, we should totally do it again. We should write jokes together so that it's because Maggie made a great point. Like, she was like, you put on one of the better because I loved comedy cockfights. I think it was a great idea.
Man, the fight after hours. I'm not gonna mention any names.
Carla?
I wasn't gonna mention names, but I was like, they did 10 seconds of material and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then the other one did 10 seconds, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That was the main event. It was supposed to be fucking girls. I mean, both of them are self-proclaimed sluts. In a funny way. I'm not trying to insult them, but they're like, oh yeah, I like the boys and the big old dicks and stuff like that. Like, and they couldn't goddamn hash up a minute of material between the both of them. I'm like, Jesus Christ. They're big drinkers. I think that's what happened. I was very disappointed. I want to see hair pulling. I wanted to see like someone getting so mad they just reached across the goddamn thing and hair pulled and titties flopping out. Me fucking just watching in amazement. That's what I wanted, and it was kind of disappointing. I'm just angry that it was the main event other than us.
Yeah.
I did not appreciate that.
I mean, what are you? But
what am I gonna do? I'm gonna complain.
Yeah, complain on your own 30-minute podcast. It's 15-minute podcast.
It's the 15-minute
Jesse
podcast.
Lopez 15-minute podcast. No, but Maggie made a great point. Like, again, not like some people can't put on great performances, but she was like, she's been to the show a couple times, and she was like, you put on a great individual performance. If you had taken some time and like written jokes and gone back and forth with Jesse, it would have been like a Super Bowl kind of showdown thing, and the crowd was red hot for your part. If they had stayed red hot throughout, it wouldn't have mattered what happened before or after you. People would have been like, that was an incredible roast battle. And so I texted you that same night, like, hey, we should do that again, and we should write together. And you were like, yep. But
I think I responded with "Go fuck yourself." Though.
Yes, that is what happened. But I took that as a yep, because I figured, yeah.
No, the thing is, with me, I'm not a very good comic off the gate.
Yeah.
It takes me like 2 minutes to get warmed up.
For sure.
Anything. I'm like, if it's a 3-minute set, I'm like, shit. I'm winning over the crowd for the first 2 minutes, and then I have to do a punchline, one laugh. It's horrible. But when I get like a nice big chunk of time, I'm a lot better with that. So I don't think I can be able to. I don't think I'm able to do your roast battle anymore. Unless it's someone that I really hate.
I get it. I really hope that I believe there's going to be another Comedy Cockfights, the first one that runs completely independent of me on the 7th.
Do you know who's going to be in there?
Andrew Cooksey, Kyle Tolbert, Tanya Nascimento, James Kerrigan, Jackson Curtin, Andrew Thomas. So those are the pairings. They're all going to roast battle each other. We're going to see Paul Harris and Mikey Swenson co-hosted together. That is what's happening. I really hope it goes well. I really like that show, not just as the person that promoted it. I think it's a great thing to have in the scene as a roast battle show. Memphis has, oh my gosh, they have a show called You Look Like, which is formatted very differently. It's closer to Spike Club in that instead of sets, which is my favorite thing about Comedy Cockfights, they do the Spike Club thing of trading jokes.
One blow each.
But instead of Spike Club, where again it's chess match mentality, where it's like first one that blows 3 goes out, it's just 5 minutes. So just 5 minutes trading back and forth, and there's a speed element to it, and they all have to be in the format of You Look Like whatever. So I mean, it's an incredible show live, and it was like, oh man, I love it helped me reaffirm, like, yeah, I really do love roast comedy. It's fantastic. And I want to compete in it at some point. But, yeah, to see, like, I know roast comedy works, and I know, based on how many the crowd we were getting out at the very end of our run before I had to move, I was
yes, it was getting bigger and bigger. And the shows were getting better and better, too.
Yeah. And
it was, you changed a bunch of things, like just the bell. I mean, not the bell, but like the way it just little things.
Yeah.
I forget.
I think the videos are a huge help. I think the multimedia aspect, like anything that, if you can add anything to a stand-up comedy show that isn't stand-up comedy, it adds like 10 times the production quality, and the crowd notices. Like, it's so easy, and like we assume crowds are dumb, but
they are.
If you just put on 8 comedians, they're like, oh, like if you put on 8 comedians in sequence, one after the other, each doing 10 minutes, you're like, oh yeah. But if you put on comedians doing their set, and then in between add like videos, you need to add
lights
to the left. Yeah, you go.
Awesome.
And
sorry, guys.
It's
all
all
issues.
It's all good.
It's a fucking Honda. It's worthless car.
I love the Civic. It's 35 miles to the gallon. I love everything about the Civic. If you put on like a little video to explain what's about to happen to people, number one, they get more hot for the thing in question. They're like, oh, I understand what's going on.
This is legit.
Yeah. And if you make that video funny, then it provides the service of a comedian, because it gets laughs, and it lets you, and it explains what's about to happen in a way that they can laugh at it harder, because it explains what this person's motivation is. It gives a little bit of background information, so you don't have to just do jokes about you're fat, you're ugly. It can be like you can go into like Mahoney Celeste doesn't stand a chance, and then Zach Brooks is overconfident, and then that adds a whole different thing they can joke about. So the audience doesn't have to take their word for it. Like, you don't have to be like, Zach Brooks does this, because they hear him talk in the video, so they know what he's like. Yeah.
No, yeah, those like this match, the promotional, they're really good. You know what? I'm gonna actually try to. So where can we find these amazing videos, Wes?
Oh God!
At the YouTube.
YouTube.com.
That's my radio voice. It's horrible voice. Hey, I can't.
And I hear you're giving away 2 free tickets to this YouTube channel of yours.
YouTube channel. I can't ever be a radio DJ.
How many? What number are we going? Caller number 9. Caller number 9 gets 2 free tickets to Wes's YouTube channel.
To comedy cockfights.
Comedy.
I can't. Well, where do we go to see these, Wes? Is that better?
Yeah, that's a normal voice. YouTube.com/Wes Corwin. It has all of the Comedy Cockfights promo videos. And then if you go to Mr. Tramp, YouTube.com/Mr. Tramps, it has all of the episodes we've built up to. So that's 5 really solid, about hour-long episodes.
Nice.
I'm very proud of the show. I think it was built for comedians to succeed on. I think it was a platform for comedians to succeed on. The judges are always super funny. The comedians we had on did a very good job.
The judges also really good?
With a number of exceptions, yeah.
It's weird, like now it's Swenson and Paul.
Yes.
Completely opposite. One is a deranged maniac that smokes the drugs and drinks the boozes. And the other one is kind of like a nerdy-ish type that also smokes the drugs and yeah.
No, yeah, I think they're gonna work really well off each other.
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna be an interesting dynamic. Again, just saying this because who's gonna hear it? But
that is true. Nobody's gonna hear this shit.
No, but I like talking to you. It's fine.
I'm gonna be buried with this fucking phone about 3 years from now.
I'll show you how to upload them. It's fine. The one thing I'm worried about, because if you watch episode 4, we did a little trial run. I was out of town in Memphis. No, I was out of town in Harlingen because Maggie and I went to visit her family. Mike did the show with Paul, and some of it worked really well. They bounced well off each other, and then some of it, like, Mikey kind of ran over Paul to get his bits out, and Paul just kind of sat there being like, my turn to talk. It's my, okay, my turn. Yeah, and it just continued in that fashion. So, I mean, hopefully they'll build up that repertoire of like
it's pronounced rapport. It's rapport.
That rapport.
Report. It's pronounced report.
It's
sir.
pronounced rappert.
Rappert.
Jesse. But yeah, no.
A rapper's wit.
That rapier wit.
A rapier wit. Yeah. A rapport's wit is what I have.
But you have a rapist wit.
A rapist wit. That's one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah.
A rapist wit.
But Comedy Cockfights every first Monday of every month. Mr. Transparent Girl, 10:30, hosted by Paul Harrison and Mikey Swenson. Produced in some capacity because I'm still going to try to make the videos back.
All right, this is really good. You heard it first here. If you want to see the cockfights, go to Jesse fucking Lopez at Facebook.com.
How could they have heard it here first when they haven't heard this at all? You heard it here first.
I'm thief. Wait. I'm Captain Howdy on Twitter too. Captain Howdy on Twitter. Anything you want to plug before we leave these fucking people to listen to the other goddamn podcasts that
sure.
I've never released?
If anybody listens to this podcast, I'm performing at the Memphis Comedy Festival March 29th to February 3rd. It's going to be a really good show. It's got Derek Sheen. It's got a number of really talented comedians, and it's going to be a number of crazy alternative shows and also regular stand-up shows. And if you're in the Memphis area, you should check it out. Also, just go to Memphis comedy shows in general. It's a really good bunch of people that are funny.
That's what we're going to do right now. In about 8 hours, we'll be there.
5 hours.
5 hours.
You don't. What?
I don't know. We're going to be in. Yeah. We'll be there in 13 hours, all the way to Wyoming. Where are we going? Where are we going? Westford, Cornwood.
All right. Jesse, do you have anything to plug on your own podcast?
On my own podcast. Jesse fucking Lopez at Facebook. Don't be my Facebook friend because I don't want any more.
Yep.
I'm done.
Calling it quits.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you guys if you want to be my friend. Twitter. Somebody go to Twitter and I'm at Cookie Monster 9975, I think.
I believe it's at Jesse Lopez 9975.
At Jesse Lopez. Oh shit! Did I just give away my password?
Oh no! What have I done?
What have I done? Oh, thank God nobody's gonna listen to this garbage, even if it is released.
Oh man. No, yeah, your username is Jesse Lopez 9975.
Jesse Lopez 9975.
Description: I am the Rat King of Austin.
I am the Rat King of Austin. I stand firmly because there's no other people that can be the Rat King of Austin. That's the only reason I took that title. Because there's no one else that could feed off garbage like I can.
You are so proud.
So proud.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Because you write most of my jokes.
Yeah, you gotta be proud of what you produce. I produced you.
Garbage. 270 pounds of garbage. That's all I have to say. Promote yourself, man. Over it.
270 pounds. You're getting in shape. That's good.
270?
That's good.
I only follow like 30 though.
Oh, that's bad.
I only follow like 30 people. You're one of them.
Oh, I see. Oh, 270 followers.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying 270 pounds, and I was like, oh, you're getting in shape. Look at you.
Oh, 270 pounds of garbage. I'm 270 pounds of garbage. Yeah.
Good job.
So you ladies, if I am ever pumping and sweating all over you, that's 200 pounds of man.
200 pounds of man, 70 pounds of machine.
Of machine.
Promote myself. Comedy Cockfights, Wes Corwin, at West Cornfield on Twitter, Wes Corwin on Instagram, at West Cornfield on Vine, West Corwin on Jester, at West Cornfield on Periscope.
I christened West Corwin.
Yes, you did.
West Cornfield.
That's true.
About 4 years ago, maybe.
It was at a mic at
a food truck.
Michael Pearson's food trailer.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that loser?
There were 4 people there. It was Michael Pearson, Aaron, Arocha, you, and me, right? Or was anybody else there?
No, there was about 4 people and an audience member.
Yeah.
4 comics, yeah.
Sat there. That one audience member sat in that chair and watched us tell our jokes. And yeah, you brought me up as Wes Cornfield.
Yes.
I had written my name, so and you were reading it directly. So you hadn't forgotten. You just chose to read
call
my name
you Wes Cornfield.
Wes Cornfield. And I was like, yeah, that's the best thing I've ever been called. That's my Twitter handle. Forever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So that's how my Twitter handle came to be.
I christened thee.
I was, especially since at the time somebody else was at Wes Corwin on Twitter. So mine was at Wes_Corwin. And I was always like, this is clumsy and this is clunky and I hate it. Everybody else is just at their name. And then, you called me Wes Cornfield, and I was like, well, this is perfect. At Wes Cornfield. And then eventually the guy who was at Wes Corn on Twitter deleted his Twitter. So I was like, oh, I can take it. And I was like, nah, I'm at Wes Cornfield. That's who I am. That's 100%.
Yeah, you have everything if you want nothing.
And I want so little, Jesse.
Yeah.
I have so little, and I want even less.
Yeah, it's a sign of the Buddha or something. One of the commandments of the Buddha. Look it up, people. I don't care. But yeah, if you want nothing, you have everything.
That's true.
So
that's why the Buddha starved to death.
Yeah.
He
want nothing,
and he had no food.
Yeah.
That's the more correct.
That's it. Yeah. If I was that ugly, if I was as ugly as one of those Buddhist people, I'd starve myself to death. Just to teach me a lesson for being so ugly.
A lesson. How appropriate. Yep.
Alright, we're gonna end this with goodbye.
Yeah. Okay.